Now you have to tell the Chipotle worker, you have to look at them in the eyes, and you have to say, are you paying with cash or card? And you're gonna say, do you guys take loans from Klarna? I financed this burrito. I will be paying you in a loan, and you'll get a check in the mail for the part I'm mortgaging. This is the world we live in. We live in a world where you can't afford a burrito, so you're taking out a loan to buy a burrito. Gen Z, the worst time to be alive. I wouldn't say it's the worst time to be alive. Wasn't there a time where we were at like a world war? I think there is this drama around being Gen Z, and because attention spans are lower, and there's brain rot, and all of these things that make us sort of cringe. We might be the cringiest generation alive. I don't know if we're the worst, right? I wouldn't say we're the worst, but I'm sure there's a case to be made that there are actual problems that Gen Z is facing that previous generations have never faced. If you look at the cost of a house, it's unaffordable to most people. If you look at inflation, it's terrible. If you look at a lot of things, it will point to Gen Z being kind of tough to live in. I mean, let's take a look.
The other day, I woke up to two things. One, my Kurt Cobain poster falling off the wall again. Two, the realization that I might have lost the timeline dice roll, as somehow I've managed to be born during one of the worst times in all of human history. I was born in 2003, and as a result, I am now unwillingly a part of Generation Z. Or Gen Z, if you will. Growing up was fire. Everything ranging from the internet still coming up, playing Jetpack Joyride on your damn iPod Touch.
Dude, Jetpack Joyride, Where's My Water, Cut the Rope, Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, Temple Run, Subway Surfers, all the best games. No other generation had this.
Or even a game-changing iPhone 6 dropping. Back then, you had the Hall of Fame browser games like Club Penguin or even Pop Tropica. You even had TV shows like Arthur. The only real worry you would have in these times was not being able to locate your group of friends' bicycles outside someone's crib, or getting your ball stuck underneath someone's car. Then some time flew by, and you're starting to enter your adult years, where for some reason society around you only now decides to fall into complete and utter chaos when it's your turn to actually become an adult.
That's
you
true.
Could have been a fucking milkman.
Imagine all the people that are in like CS right now. They're CS majors just for all of their work to be replaced with AI. That's the worst thing. Imagine you're a junior right now in college and you're realizing how fucked you are in real time. You have to switch majors. You have to be like a chef. You have to go to culinary school. You have to.
And in 1950, and still be able to...
You have to go to Streamer University. There's no other option.
Purchase a house. However, the year is now 2025, in which niggas are graduating from high school, furthering their education, landing a job, and still can't afford literally anything. In 1970, the average American yearly wage was $9,870, which is equivalent to $80,800 today. And the average American home around this time frame costs roughly about 23 grand, which is equivalent to $180,000 today. As it stands right now in 2025, the average American salary is slightly above 60 grand.
So it is not the same as it was in the 70s. It's less relative for inflation, so it's $20,000 less. Oh, interesting.
The average American home is a little bit under 400.
Oh my God. So wages are down, houses are up, we're all fucked. It's disgusting, and whoever did this needs to pay in blood. I know that BlackRock owns homes. I believe that there's just vacant homes somewhere in America that are owned by BlackRock that are unoccupied, and for those homes, for the people who own those homes, they need to be burned. I think arson exists, and I think that's an option. I think that people who are causing this and who are enslaving Americans to this sort of never-ending chase, this chase for a home, this chase for a future, kind of holding something over their head, putting us in their hamster wheel, you know, hey, you're almost there, jiggling the keys to the home that we'll never be able to afford. And these people are fucked. They're fucked. They're fucked in the head. And they will never be held accountable because they're nameless, they're faceless, they're hard to track. You don't know them, you won't see them, you won't hear from them. You'll just know that they exist because of how fucked you are in your day-to-day life by the decisions that they're making at their board meetings. And at their board meetings, there's somebody who wants to speak up against this, but he won't because he knows that by doing so, he'll be thrown out to the street and fed to the wolves. This is a real thing, and it's disgusting. It's sad. Look, dude, $400,000 for a fucking average house. You know how unattainable that is for most people? Let's just say you're making the average income, okay? Let's say you're making the average salary that people are. Let's take a peek here. Hold on.
Slightly above 60.
You're making about $62,000 a year. It'll take you about So not 10 years, maybe like 8 years we'll call it. What's 6 times 8? 48. And what is this, 400K? So maybe 7 years. 6 times 7 is 42. So we'll call it about 7 years. So maybe 6.5 years to get a fucking house, okay? But that's not accounting for inflation. That's not accounting for taxes. That's not accounting for where you want to live. You know, there's going to be places that you just can't live in because it's too expensive. Places that you can't live in because it's too crime-ridden. So you're forced into some weird middle ground that you don't want to be in. And then if you want to get the house, on top of that, you want to have kids in this house, and then you can't afford to have the kids in there. So you're at the end of the day left with two options. One is go to the gun store and don't ask them to do a mental health background check because damn well you know you'll fail. Or two is to, I don't know, do some stupid shit like take all your money and put it onto black in a casino and hope it works, because all you have now is to fucking gamble. Because, I mean, like, look at this. You're playing a losing game. So you're going to play the losing game that the government and the world has set up for you, which is the like never-ending chase for money, which is what we're all kind of doing, or the losing game of fucking roulette, where you have a 50% chance of winning and 50% chance of losing. But that 50% chance that you win, you might get a bit of a leg up against everyone else who's playing this fucking rat race.
Grand. The average American home is a little bit under 400 grand. Listen, I'm no fucking mathematician or economist, but it ain't hard to tell that there's a clear discrepancy between these two time periods. Back in the day, niggas could have worked for one, emphasis on 1 year, and already have made nearly 50% save for a house. However, in today's economy, fuck no. By the time you've put in a year's worth of work, you're not even getting a quarter of the way there. 16% to be exact. It would take you 6.5 years to actually purchase and own that damn house. Then you have Canada. And despite me actually being from here, I'm not even gonna bother talking about it because niggas are gonna get pissed off. I might have to end the damn video if I start talking about its economy. Put it simply, where I'm from, the average salary is roughly 54 grand. Canadian, by the way. And the average cost for a house is 848 grand.
Oh my god.
Working for a year on the average salary would get me
Canada is so fucked.
Singular percentage.
Oh my god, 6%.
Towards my house. In other words, it'll take me 15.7 years to pay my house off.
Oh.
What the fuck? Back in the day, you could have literally been an immigrant coming from a third world country, get a basic ass job, and buy a house. However,
yeah, and there's no chance that's happening now.
For in today's economy, as someone who was born and raised here, went to school, got a job, I might have a better chance getting hit by a car than actually buying a house. Remember when people used to actually purchase and own things? Like, remember when you actually had enough money to go somewhere and buy something without paying it off? Me neither. But now,
yeah, now you have to rent a burrito. Now you have to take out a loan to buy a burrito. Now you have to tell the Chipotle burrito assembler. I'm not going to call them a chef. They're sort of an assembler. They're what do you call them? The chef, the Chipotle worker. We'll use worker, sure, whatever. You have to tell the worker. You have to look at them in the eyes, and you have to say. They'll ask you, "Are you paying with cash or card?" And you're going to say, do you guys take loans from Klarna? I financed this burrito. I will be paying you in a loan, and you'll get a check in the mail for the part I'm mortgaging. My fucking burrito mortgage should be right on cue. This is the world we live in. We live in a world where you can't afford a burrito, so you're taking out a loan to buy a burrito. This is the world we live in, and thank God to BlackRock. Thank you, Vanguard. Thank you, State Street. Thank you to all of the faceless, nameless corporations that have made this happen, because I love it. I love living in the fucking hamster wheel. I love it. Growing up, my favorite song was The Hamster Band, so it only makes sense that I live in the hamster wheel now. And you go to Costco, and then Costco guys, the charming family of Italian Americans who are making it boom. We bring the boom, and it's cute, and it's adorable. But then you go to Costco, and you realize that is the best you're going to get. You have to buy in bulk, they say. Buy in bulk, and you'll save money. And then you buy in bulk. You've bought a month's worth of groceries in bulk. You're saving money, apparently. And then you go to the checkout, and it's like $700 fucking dollars. It's $700 for your family's groceries. And then, again, you realize you ask Siri on the way home, the route that you normally take home from the groceries to your home, that normal route that you drive to and from Costco. You never knew this, but now you do know that there's a gun store on the way home. And then you think, well, maybe what if just one time I snuck off there just to say, I'm going to use the bathroom, guys. Hey, family, I'll be right back. I'm going to use the bathroom. But, you know, you never come back from the bathroom, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I mean, it's not crazy. Plus shrinkflation, plus taxes. And then it's crazy. What are you supposed to do? What do you do? We know the problem, but what do you do now? Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, no amount of cutting corners will get you out of this. You have to just, like, do something entirely different. The other day, I ordered DoorDash DoorDash, and then the person dropped it off at a location that was about 5 minutes away from me, and I was thinking to myself, this person clearly has made the like conscious choice to put this there because no other driver has ever made this mistake, so it's not a mistake. And I'm thinking about the fact that he was clearly trying to cut corners to save time on his next delivery so that he can make more money. But dude, you're viewing the whole thing wrong if you think you're going to make your way out of the trenches by cutting corners on DoorDash. You can't save 5 minutes every delivery to try to make more deliveries. If I save 5 minutes on every delivery, I'll make 5 more deliveries every single day. There's no way you can get around it. You cannot do more DoorDash. You can't min-max DoorDash your way to an actual home. You're gonna be homeless. You're gonna be a renter forever. You will be in a perpetual state of renting no matter how hard you think you can try to game the system. You're a DoorDasher. You can't. That's it. You have to start from scratch. Take the money you've gotten from DoorDash and start some fucking scheme. Okay, you have to scheme your way out of this. You would have to literally work 24/7. It's not possible. And so it sucks though because like people think they can cut corners to make it out of the trap that you kind of can. You have to do something entirely different. With me, I'm lucky and fortunate enough to be able to do YouTube, and I can stream, and I have this weird kind of funky, not real job. I'm not really working. I'm just kind of yapping. I'm just speaking, you know, and it's cool, and I'm appreciative of it, and I'm incredibly blessed. Like I'm very privileged. But when I cut corners on YouTube, I actually see like a noticeable increase in like the money and like the growth. You just can't say that for DoorDash. You can't, like, you'll make $20 extra, and you're spending more money on gas, and your mental health is fucked, and now you're a schizophrenic, and now you have to pay the psychiatrist for the consultation where she diagnoses you with schizophrenia, and now you have to take lithium, and now you have to do a $50 copay for lithium, and now you're insane, and now you're on the internet, and you're on a dark corner of the internet where they're just, you know, there's probably an FBI agent watching over you when you say things like, I wish this would stop, and the voices are talking to me. And so now it's not just the psychiatrist who's watching you say these crazy things, it's the FBI agent, because you've made yourself a victim of capitalism. Congrats. People are going to read about your story in the news because you're going to do something that's newsworthy. I will not be elaborating on what you exactly will do because it's a case by case, but you're going to make people Hassan viewers. They're going to read what you did because you're schizophrenic, because you try to cut corners on DoorDash, and they're going to watch Hassan.
Nowadays, society is set up in a way where you can finance practically anything, including f***ing Uber Eats. By the simple utilization of a damn Klarna account, you can literally spread a payment out over the span of 4 months. Like, you can deadass buy Chipotle for $11.50 and pay $2.87 from
this is
now
a disease.
until
this is a disease. This is a disease. Yeah.
July. The fact that they're even
Let's see.
and pay $2.87 from now until July.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. Oh wow.
The fact that they're even willing to provide this possibility for people only further reaffirms that niggas are genuinely struggling outside. Like, people actually don't have money now. Back in the day, the internet used to be a simple place where you could literally just f*** around. You can still do that. However, in 2025, it has become absolutely ridiculous. The amount of shit on here that's posted on a day-to-day basis in which anyone can access at any point, nigga, it might even be thrown into your face. Gen Z being consistently on the internet's not helping them either, and is definitely warping their views of what real life is supposed to look like. Mind you, I'm no life guru, but there ain't no way in hell that the human brain was designed to consume this type of content every single day. The first one we have is social media. Back in the day, my parents used to tell me, it's that damn phone. Now that I'm getting older, I'm starting to realize it might actually be that damn phone.
It is.
This shit will have niggas thinking that if they're not rich by 25, they are nothing but an absolute failure. Me included. Granted, getting rich as soon as possible is definitely a valid move, and you should aim for that, to be honest, because what's stopping you? However, people are forgetting before the internet, there was literally damn near no way you could actually be rich by 25. You would have had to finish school around your early 20s and then finesse your way up the ladder before your employer would even consider the thought of paying you a decent salary. Or commit a crime. Nowadays, you could pull up practically any social media platform and see your 13, 16-year-old millionaire who started a clothing business that's just straight up booming. Someone who managed to figure out YouTube automation and is making thousands of dollars a month. Or your 8th life guru who is somehow a millionaire and despite you not knowing how, still wants you to sign up for his course. This shit is not real life. Gen Z is in a position where they're able to open the internet and access pretty much advice on anything they need in their life. Literally anything. You ever notice how you could open your phone and someone somewhere out there in the universe is trying to give you advice on what you should or shouldn't do in your relationship? Like, I'm talking, you open your phone on your lunch break at work and there's just immediately a nigga screaming on your phone talking about, any guy that's around me, bro, needs at least 50 bodies. Otherwise, he can't hang with us. What the f? Dumbass advice like this is what's constantly being fed to Gen Z, and I used to think that hella people didn't actually take it serious, so I disregarded it. Until I started experiencing signs of this shit in my life. You'll be chilling with your boy who just doom scrolls social media, and then all of a sudden your conversations start looking like this. Yo, bro, how long you been with your girl? I don't know, we're coming up about like 1 year maybe. But like, bro, do you love her? Do I love my girl? Yes, I do.
Yeah, so basically I think a lot of the red pill stuff has made men talk to other men like they have advice for them, and it's weird. Like, just because you heard Andrew Tate say something doesn't mean that A, it's true, and B, that it applies to your boy's relationship. And just because you think it doesn't give you the right to go up to him and say, hey bud, you have time to sit down and chat? Hey, let's chat. And so he sits down and he's talking to you, and then you're saying, hey, so, you know, Big A told me some stuff and I wanted to just run it by you and ask you what you think about it in terms of your relationship. And then you're talking to him, and all of a sudden you're beefing with your friend because Andrew Tate basically said that if your friend doesn't agree with what he said, that he's stupid, he's a simp, he's an idiot, and that causes friction between you and your friend. And all this time, the division that's being drawn between you and your friend pushes you away from your friend and closer to Andrew Tate. That's pathetic. That's sad. That's embarrassing. Embarrassing. It is embarrassing. It's terrible. I'm sad hearing that.
I do love her. Bro. How would you know if you love her yet, bro? You haven't cheated on her. What does that mean? What are we talking about here? Bro, you could only truly know if you love her if you cheat and start feeling guilty, bro. Otherwise, how do you know if you love her, bro? You didn't cheat. Who the f told you that, bro? Where did you get that from? Bro, what do you mean? You didn't see that Instagram reel I sent you earlier, bro? Fuck! Or you'll be doing your damn laundry and then all of a sudden your phone starts ringing. Yo, bro, hear me out. A key that could open many locks is a master key. But a lock that can be opened by any keys is a bad key. Don't even get me started on dating advice that's portrayed on the internet for women.
That one is true, though.
Social media has some women thinking that they're one of one and so that they should never settle for less. And now they're all entitled to marrying some rich.
Wait, what does it say? Sorry?
Has some women thinking that they're one of one and so that they should never.
Realistically expecting most men in their 20s to pay for everything and have you as a first priority is actually crazy. You don't care about him, you're using him and looking for a come up at this age, asking for a man for 2/3K in bill monthly every month / play money is insanity. Yeah, I agree.
Settle for less. And now they're all entitled to marrying some rich man. Now you're on a date with the girl in which she looks you square in the face and goes,
So what are your hobbies? What do you like to do on your free time?
You know, I like to, read books. I go to the gym. Maybe I'll play some instruments. Well, what about you?
I'm high maintenance, you know. I need me a man who could fund my lifestyle alongside his, and if he can't, he's a bum. I need me a provider, someone who takes me shopping, surprises me with nice gifts, takes me to do my nails, my hair.
What? This shit don't even take place on dates sometimes.
Oh, no.
I remember back in my second year of college, I was talking to my boy about how I was gonna get home this day, and this girl overhears me drop the city I'm supposed to be traveling to, and she just buds in talking about,
oh, you're from that city too? I wish you would have told me earlier.
I didn't tell you anything. I wasn't talking to you, actually.
Because I'm actually getting an Uber there right now, and you could have came with. You know, I'm high maintenance. I don't do the bus. I'll just get an Uber or like a ride from someone, you know what I mean?
What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know what's
Ultimately,
going
it's
on,
your
dude.
life.
I don't know what's going on with this. Like, it's just like, why do you talk like that? Why do you feel the need to speak to me like that? Are you a Denims fan? Where did you hear about this? I don't know why everyone's so like rude to other people. Like, I get why you're rude to people online because people online are like terrible and they clip farm and they rage bait and they are like worthy of ridicule. But like an actual human being who's just like being nice and being normal, I don't understand.
So live the lifestyle you see fit. But we can't deny the simple fact that social media has planted the seed of entitlement in which hella people now feel as if they deserve these luxurious items and or lifestyles for just simply existing. Or because Sally from fucking TikTok told them so.
Oh, yeah.
Then you have the life advice. And for the record, there's usually some gems that do exist and you can come across them on the internet. But when you don't come across those gems, it'll be nighttime right before you hit your casual hour of doom scroll before you go to bed, in which now you're hearing niggas talking about how if you don't have a 4 a.m. morning routine, you're not a man. Excuse me? Or one day you'll be feeling a bit under the weather, so you miss the gym, in which you open TikTok to,
You're just a bitch.
You are just a bitch.
Honestly, that's not me trying to be some after school special shit. You really are a bitch.
Some of the advice that's thrown into men's faces may genuinely be good advice. However, the bad advice may be extremely fucking bad. The year is 2025, in which everyone now has a goddamn podcast, and as a result leads to people getting on these microphones and saying practically everything and anything. I've always thought that it's not that serious because it is the internet at the end of the day, but then I realized that there's people out there who may genuinely consume this advice, and so as a result they take it to heart, so now they live their day-to-day life like this.
Correct. If you look at the people who are spreading the propaganda, like they actually seem normal because they are spreading propaganda that they're aware is stupid. Like Andrew Tate actually is probably somewhat normal to interact with. For the people who truly digest his content and believe it are the truly insane ones. Like the people who are products of his feedback and advice, these are the people that you need to really steer clear of, right? People who listen to Fresh and Fit, people who listen to certain Andrew Tate clips, people who listen to like Manifestel, the girl who's like basically the female Fresh and Fit. These people are insane, okay? Because they take it all to heart. They truly believe it. They are the victims of the propaganda. That's the thing, right? They don't have the self-awareness. They are programmable. They are susceptible. They are insane. They're delusional. They're cringe. Like, you get it. You get it. I don't need to repeat it. You get it. You understand.
Which can actually be pretty fucking dangerous. We've hit a point in life as a society where not only is everything accessible, but can also be accompanied by the help of a fucking robot. AI was introduced to the internet and now it's somehow on the verge of taking over the damn planet. Remember when you would go to the grocery store and have to wait in line until a cashier can help you? Went into Walmart the other day in which I saw the most self-checkout machines I've probably ever seen in my life. Like they straight might have had only like 2 cashiers. I was at a pancake restaurant that has its own self-driving robot to deliver
That's kind of
food.
heat though.
This shit was low-key fire, I can't lie. Just imagine when it starts taking people's orders too.
Okay, that's gonna be scary.
Starbucks now has a prototype for a self-service barista.
Ooh.
Before you know it,
low-key fuck them baristas, bro. Like always talking about like, it should have a question for you on screen. No tip. I'm alright.
won't even be needed anymore for the most mundane of jobs. Almost everything can be done with AI. You can ask ChatGPT damn near any question in the universe and it will somehow find the answer. People are starting whole-ass businesses with
normal.
AI. Hell, some content creators are even running fully automated YouTube channels, pocketing thousands a
That's not real.
month. This shit is only going to get worse for the economy because a lot of jobs are actually
I should do that. I should be doing that. I need to make more money.
Back in the day,
I need to buy a house. Like, I get it. I get it now.
everyone would constantly tell niggas to go study some form of computers. But imagine following that same advice today. It's gotten to a point where the computers are now studying us.
I'm not made of nerves, Yusuf. I'm a computer program designed for conversation.
Why are you stuttering?
All in all, Generation Z as a whole has some scary times ahead of them. People are literally following the older generation and society's advice, yet aren't able to afford literally anything. The internet and social media are absolutely warping everyone's view of what life is supposed to look like. AI is about to take over the damn world, blah, blah, blah. It won't be a fun next set of years. I mean, you tell me. Do you think Gen Z is at fault for its current living state as they don't want to work hard anymore? Or is there something within the system that clearly isn't right? However, it's easier to just turn a blind eye.
I would agree. I think the system is rigged, and I think people are realizing it every single day. When you look at the price of a home, when you look at the wages that are being given to workers, you can pretty easily understand why it's harder for people of this generation to get a home, right? I think you have to understand that also hard workers do not always make the most money. Sometimes lazy people who are able to optimize a system where they're getting paid while they sleep are able to make the most money. That's obviously true. I don't think you can blame the Gen Zers who are a victim of the time, which I don't think it's the worst time to be alive, as the video says. It's certainly hard to buy a home. I don't think it's their fault.
I gotta cut this shit off again, man. I'm starting to sound crazy again.
My son right now is finishing high school and struggling to get a job. Well, it's not his fault. Like, I mean, to some extent, yes, like he should get a job. You know, out of high school, you should try to get a job. I agree with that. But at the end of the day, I do think that there is a lot of things that are out of your control that just suck. That's it. That's really it, bro. That's all I have to say there.